you get there.
Yeah.
All right. Please take your paperwork, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ruben Torado, please come to the podium. Aaron Casillas, have a seat by the door. Please say your name and your date of birth.
Ruben Torado, August 1st, 1993.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on a probation violation warrant. It's alleged you violated terms 3 and 5 of your probation. An attorney has been appointed to assist you, and your next hearing is downtown Phoenix on March 13th at 8:30 in the morning. You do have bond of $150. If you're able to post that bond, call your probation officer within 72 hours and go to your hearing. If you're not, you'll stay in custody and be transported to your hearing. Please take your paperwork, sir. Aaron Casillas, please come to the podium. And then Angelo Del Castillo, have a seat by the door. Please say your name and your date of birth.
Aaron Cross Casillas, January 21st, 2001.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on a municipal court warrant alleging disorderly conduct or fighting. An attorney has been appointed for you at your next hearing, and it will be at the Surprise Municipal Court on March 17th at 1:30 in the afternoon. You are eligible for bond. It is a $50 bond. Let me just see if you had, I believe you are already in custody for something else, and so to make sure you get sent to that hearing, the $50 bond is set. If you're able to be out of custody, make sure you take yourself to that hearing. The information is all on your paperwork.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Please take your paperwork. Angelo Del Castillo, please come to the podium. Mark Velez, have a seat by the door. Please say your name and date of birth.
Angelo Del Castillo, 11/19/04.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on a new municipal court case alleging disorderly conduct as well as assault. These are both being alleged as misdemeanors, but as domestic violence. So an attorney has been appointed to assist you. Your next hearing will be at the Surprise Municipal Court on March 31st. That'll be at 1:30 in the afternoon. You are being released today on your promise to go to the hearing, but also your promise to follow the release conditions. The release conditions include that you may not return to the scene of the alleged crime or have any contact with the alleged victim, witnesses, or complainants. Do not possess weapons, possess or consume alcohol, or any illegal drugs while this case is pending. If an order of protection is issued against you, be sure to comply with that court order. You may not reside at the same location as the alleged victim, and so you may have what's called a civil standby, which means you can call law enforcement to escort you there. Don't meet them there. Have them escort you there to retrieve necessary things like medication, identification, or clothing you might need between now and your hearing on the 31st.
Okay.
They will not resolve property disputes. It's just a quick in and out to get necessities.
Okay.
You are cautioned that if you were to have continued contact with these alleged victims, it might be considered aggravated harassment, and that's a Class 6 felony. And just so you're very clear, the victims in this case are your mother, sister, and the brother who were at the residence at the time of the alleged altercation. Okay?
Yeah.
Please take your paperwork, sir. Mark Velez, please come to the podium. Raymond Dorsey, have a seat by the door. Please say your name and date of birth.
Mark Velez, 12/19/04.
Thank you, sir. You're here on a new case alleging that you had dangerous drugs in your possession. That's a Class 4 felony. This court did find probable cause and appointed an attorney to assist you. Your next hearing is going to be downtown Phoenix on March 23rd at 8:30 in the morning, and you're going to be released today on your promise that you will go to that hearing. Do you promise, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Please take your paperwork. Raymond Dorsey, please come to the podium, and then I'll go back to Douglas Lyndhurst. Please say your name and your date of birth.
Raymond Dorsey. I'm sorry, I just woke up. Date of birth, 11/19/1988.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on a new case alleging you had dangerous drugs in your possession. That's a Class 4 felony. That you attempted to take contraband into a correctional facility. That's a Class 5 felony. And that you had drug paraphernalia. That's a Class 6 felony. Based on the law enforcement report, this court did find probable cause and appointed an attorney to assist you. Your next hearing is downtown Phoenix on March 23rd at 8:30 in the morning, but you are going to be released today on your promise to go to that hearing. Make sure you go to the hearing, sir, or they will issue a warrant for your arrest that does carry bond.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, please take your paperwork, sir.
Thank you. I do have a question. It's okay.
Okay, come back. It'll take a few hours for you to be released.
Okay, thank you.
Is that your question? Okay.
No, it's just because recently, like, I've been stopped before, and the officers let me know that, like, I had a Mason warrant, but it was a misdemeanor, and it was like extraditable or whatever it is. But the officers that arrested me took me in because of the Mason warrant.
Oh.
So, and it was just, I didn't know.
So you're wondering what happened to your other warrant?
Yeah.
You know, I don't see it listed. So actually, there is a Mesa warrant out there for a failure to appear.
Yeah.
So they may have a hold on you, and if that's the case, then you'll get transferred over to see someone else.
Okay.
So that warrant, it does say is a $500 warrant. I'm not sure if they're going to impose that or not. I don't have control on that.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Douglas. Okay. Mr. Douglas Lundhurst, please come back to the podium. All right, thank you for your patience. So I did review the notes. I reviewed both the APETS notes as well as the page 2s, meaning you were already in custody when these warrants were served on you and you were rearrested, and that's why you're here now. It looks like when you were arrested initially, though, it was because of some pretty serious allegations. I don't know if they're going to bring the charges or not, but based on that and the other information in the warrants, I am going to go ahead and uphold these warrants today, sir. So I appreciate your patience, but they are going to stand. So it's $500 total. If you're able to post it, make sure you go to your hearings and continue to follow the terms and conditions of your probation. If you're not able to post it, you will stay in custody and be transported to your next hearings. They are on March 13th. Please take your paperwork, sir.
Yep, thank you, Your Honor.
This was our last matter today for the 2 a.m. initial appearance hearing calendar, so at this time it is in recess until 5 a.m. Please be seated. Good morning. This is the 5 a.m. initial appearance hearing calendar for March 7th, 2026. The court's orders for the taking of DNA and fingerprints that were given on the first calendar of the month shall apply to all matters on this calendar. As you just heard in the recording, this is a very specific type of hearing. I will tell you why you are here, if an attorney has been appointed for you, when and where your next hearing will be, if you are eligible for release, what the bond amount might be, and any release conditions required. I will not read all the release conditions to each of you, but I may point out a few depending on your case. You're all here today on criminal matters. That means you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do may be held against you. This hearing is being recorded and broadcast live. I will only ask you for your name and your date of birth. Because the hearing is broadcast live, there may be victims watching the hearing, and so I will read the victim rights advisement and begin the hearings. If you are the victim of a crime with a case pending before this court, you are advised that you have rights under Arizona law that, among others, include the right to be treated with fairness, respect, and dignity, to a speedy trial, to be present at court proceedings, to choose whether or not to be interviewed by the defendant or defendant's attorney, to be heard before the court makes a decision on release, negotiation of a plea, scheduling and sentencing, and to receive restitution from a person who is convicted of causing you loss. If you have not already been provided with a written statement of all victims' rights, please contact the Victim Services Division of the Prosecutor's Office. We'll now begin the hearings, and I'll call you in one at a time. When I call your name, please come to the podium that's in the center of the room and speak into the microphone. I will call a second person's name. Please have a seat in the chair right there by the door so that we can move efficiently. Once in a while, I may need to pause the hearings in order to handle a warrant, so please do not enter the hearing room unless I have called for you. At the conclusion of your hearing, you will receive paperwork, and on that document or paperwork, it will have all the most important information that I've shared with you: telephone numbers, addresses, your next court hearing dates and times. All right, we'll begin right now with Timothy Saavedra. Timothy Saavedra. Please come to the podium. Saavedra. Yeah. Timothy Saavedra. And then after that will be Amber Andrews. Please say your name and your date of birth.
Timothy Saavedra, 9382.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on 3 matters. The first one is a new case, and on your new case, it is alleged that you committed or had dangerous drugs in your possession. That's a Class 4 felony, and drug paraphernalia. That's a Class 6 felony. This court did find probable cause and appointed an attorney to assist you. Because you were out on felony release already, you're not eligible for release today. So you will have a hearing on March 12th at 8:30 in the morning on your new case, and then on March 13th at 1:30 in the afternoon, you'll have a bail eligibility hearing to determine if you can become eligible for release. Your other 2 matters here today include a failure to appear to your pretrial conference on July 24th of last year. So that one has an attorney already appointed for you. Your next hearing is March 16th, 8:30 in the morning. It will show that it has a $5,000 bond, but don't pay that until after you go to that eligibility hearing. And then your last matter is a probation violation warrant. It's alleging that you violated Term 5 of your probation, so an attorney has been appointed for you. And on this one, your hearing is also March 13th, 8:30 in the morning, downtown Phoenix. It's in the same building as your new case, just a different courtroom, and they'll transport you between the 2. And on this one, it does have a $250 bond. So once you finish that bond or bail eligibility hearing on the 13th, if you're able to pay your bonds, then make sure you go to your other hearings. But if you're not, you'll stay in custody and you'll be transported to each of your hearings. Please take your paperwork, sir. Amber Andrews, please come to the podium. Jacob Nusser, have a seat by the door. Please say your name and date of birth.
Amber Andrews, 12/23/1986.
Thank you, ma'am. You're here today on an out-of-county warrant, and it is for a probation violation. And so an attorney will be appointed for you when you go down to your next hearing at the Pinal County Superior Court on March 11th at 8:30 in the morning. You're not eligible for release today because it is a probation violation being asked to be held with no bond. So the information will be on your paperwork and they will transport you to your hearing.
Okay.
Please take your paperwork now.
Thank you.
Jacob Nasser, please come to the podium. Andrew Brewer, have a seat by the door. Right here in the center, sir. Please say your name and your date of birth.
Jacob Wayne Nuster, 62504.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on two matters. One of them is a probation violation warrant. It's alleged that you violated terms 3, 4, and 5 of your probation. An attorney has been appointed to assist you. Your next hearing is downtown Phoenix on March 13th at 8:30 in the morning. This carries a $250 secured appearance bond with your regular terms and conditions of probation, so call your probation officer, go to your hearing. You do have a second matter, though, and it is an out-of-county warrant from, let me just check. This one is from Pinal County. It is a probation violation warrant as well. So an attorney will be appointed for you in Pinal County, and your hearing will be March 11th, 8:30 in the morning downtown, at Pinal County. This one did ask for you to be held without bond, so you will not be released until after you've gone to Pinal County, and all this information is on your paperwork. Please take your paperwork, sir. Andrew Brewer, please come to the podium, and Jorge Morales, or George Morales, please have a seat by the door. Please say your name and date of birth.
Andrew Brewer, 7/15/1970.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on a new case. It's alleged you had dangerous drugs in your possession. That's a Class 4 felony, drug paraphernalia, which is a Class 6 felony, and that you were criminally trespassing. That's alleged as a misdemeanor. This court did find probable cause and appointed an attorney to assist you. Your next hearing is downtown Phoenix on March 12th at 8:30 in the morning, and you are eligible for release today. It is under a secured appearance bond of $1,000.
Ma'am, can I ask a request?
Sure.
I was just wondering if I can go through Veterans Court.
So that would be something to talk with your attorney and the next judge about, because they can put those requests in. And it looks like your next hearing is on March 12th. So depending on what happens on your hearing, they are having a veteran stand down on the 12th and 13th, but you have to go through the public defender's office in order to make a motion to go there. So your attorney is the public defender, so you'll have their phone number on your paperwork. Okay. So make sure you follow up. If you're able to post your bond and go to your hearing, talk to your attorney. If you're not able to post your bond, you still have their phone number on your paperwork. You can call them, but you will be held in custody and transported to your next hearing. Please take your paperwork, sir. Jorge Morales, please come to the podium. Stephen Carl, have a seat by the door. Please say your name and date of birth.
Alberto Munoz Morales,
And your birthday?
February 4, 1999.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on two cases. The first one is a new case, and it is alleged that you may have had narcotic drugs in your possession, which is a Class 4 felony, and that you were shoplifting, also as a Class 4 felony. This court did find probable cause and appointed an attorney to assist you. Your next hearing will be downtown Phoenix on March 12th at 8:30 in the morning, and you do have bond. It's $500 secured appearance bond on your new case. If you're able to post that bond, do not return to the scene of the alleged crimes or have any contact with the alleged victim, witnesses, or complainants, and then follow your normal terms and conditions of probation. So your other matter here today is a failure to appear at your probation, revocation, arraignment hearing that was held in February of this year. So you have an attorney already appointed for you in that case, and your next hearing is now March 13th, 8:30 in the morning, downtown Phoenix. This one carries a $50 bond. So altogether, you're looking at $300 secured appearance bond, or excuse me, $550 secured appearance bond. If you're able to post that bond, make sure you go to your hearings and call your probation officer. If you cannot post the bond, you'll stay in custody and you'll be transported to your next hearings. Please take your paperwork, sir. Stephen Carl, please come to the podium. Manuela Robles, have a seat by the door. Right here in the center, sir. Please say your name and date of birth.
Stephen Carl, November 29, 1970.
Thank you, sir. You're here today for a probation violation warrant.
I see my probation every week.
Okay.
She was just there yesterday.
So I'm here to give you some information. If you want to dispute it, you're welcome to with the next judge, and you can ask your attorney questions.
I see my probation officer every week.
Would you like to receive the information from me verbally or just read it on your paperwork, sir?
Well, whatever. I mean,
okay, please wait for me to finish, and then you can ask a question if you
I
still
didn't buy it. I was at home in my own house.
Sir, would you like for me to present you the information?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're here on a probation violation warrant. It is alleging that you violated terms 3, 7, 13, and 15. An attorney has been appointed to assist you. Your next hearing is March 13th, 8:30 in the morning, downtown Phoenix. You're still eligible for release, but it is under a bond of $250.
Okay.
If you're able to post the bond, call your probation officer and talk to them, and go to your hearing. If you're not able to post that bond, you'll stay in custody, you'll be transported to your next hearing, and the next judge can change these orders. Also, your attorney's phone number will be on your paperwork if you have questions about what's going on. Do you still have an additional question?
No.
Okay, please take your paperwork.
I already went and seen the judge, and I was at home. I didn't break no law.
Okay, and those are discussions about the merits of your case, so definitely talk to your attorney about that.
My wife and I were having dinner. I mean,
okay.
How was it? You just want an extra $200?
$250, yes, sir. And we'll need to pause for just one moment.
Fucking 50.
Oh. Okay. Okay, we'll continue. Manuela Robles, please come to the podium, and then Terrence Lewis, have a seat by the door, please. Please say your name and date of birth.
Manuela Robles, May 3rd, 1997.
Thank you, ma'am. You're here today on an arrest warrant. It is alleged back in September of 2025 you may have had narcotic drugs in your possession. That's a Class 4 felony. And drug paraphernalia. That's a Class 6 felony. So the state has now brought charges against you. An attorney has been appointed to assist you. Your next hearing is downtown Phoenix on March 23rd at 8:30 in the morning. You are going to be released today on your own promise to go to that hearing. Make sure you go or they will issue a warrant for your arrest.
Okay.
Please take your paperwork, ma'am. Terrence Lewis, please come to the podium.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Please say your name and date of birth.
Terrence Lewis, March 6, 1979.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on a new municipal court case alleging disorderly conduct or fighting.
Yes, ma'am.
So because this appears to be a domestic violence case, an attorney has been appointed to assist you. Your next hearing will be at the Goodyear Municipal Court on March 25th at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You are going to be released today on your promise to go to the hearing, but also on your promise to follow the release conditions, and there are quite a few.
Okay.
You are not to return to the scene of the alleged crime or have any contact with the alleged victim, witnesses, or complainants. No weapons, do not possess or consume alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription. If an order of protection is issued against you, be sure to follow that order. If you have contact with the alleged victim, even if they contact you first, it may be considered aggravated harassment. That's a Class 6 felony. Also, you may not reside at the same location as any alleged victim, even if you're the owner or renter of the residence. You need to find an alternative and provide proof of that. So one civil standby with law enforcement is permitted. That means call the police first and have them go with you. Don't go there to meet them. Have them go with you to get anything you might need, like identification, medication, or clothing. They will not resolve property disputes. but they will go with you one time for a quick in and out to pick things up. Also, I see that you do have children in common, and because you're being ordered to find an alternative residence and have no contact with the victim, you may use a third party in order to still have parent time with your children.
Okay, that's already established, like it's with her
good.
mom,
Okay,
and so.
that's great.
So like, I do have one question, I know I'm not supposed to have contact. You said I can do the civil standby, since it's technically my weekend, will I be able to get my daughter?
So this is not a custody order.
Okay, so that
If
custody
you-
order is still,
As long as no order of protection is filed, an order of protection would be above a custody order. So as long as no order of protection is filed naming the children,
okay,
your custody order would still be in place.
all right,
Okay. Go ahead and take your paperwork.
thank you, ma'am.
All right, so we do have several house calls. They are all listed as combative, and we'll just go through one at a time. Mr. Diedrich Osife, date of birth 12/26/99, is a new case. It's alleged he committed burglary, criminal damage, and resisting arrest passively. His court did not find probable cause on the burglary allegation, but yes on the criminal damage and resisting arrest. So an attorney was appointed for him. His next hearing is March 23rd, 8:30 in the morning. He is going to be released on his promise to go to the hearing and follow the release conditions, especially do not return to the Chandler Winco on Willis while the case is pending. The next individual is Ruben Alvarez, and this is an arrest warrant back from July of 2025 alleging aggravated driving under the influence, which is a Class 4 felony. An attorney has been appointed to assist him. His next hearing is March 23rd, 8:30 in the morning, and again, he is going to be released also on his promise to go to the hearing because he has no prior DUIs and absolutely no failures to appear. The next individual is Marcelano Martinez, date of birth 7/7/1981. He has 3 cases. They are all municipal court warrants. And for this individual, they're all out of El Mirage Municipal Court. Attorneys will be appointed for him at his next hearing because bond is set, so if he pays his bond, he'll have to hire his own. They're all going to be March 16th, 10 a.m., and the varying amounts of bond include $253, $252, and $253, so altogether it's $758 of secured appearance bond. And he does need to follow the order of protection that was issued against him. And the last person is David McRae. He also has 3 matters. The first one is a new case. It is alleged that he committed aggravated domestic violence, which is a Class 5 felony, and assault, which is a misdemeanor. An attorney has been appointed to assist him. His next hearing is March 12th, 8:30 in the morning. On this new case, he has a secured appearance bond of $7,500 with electronic monitoring and very strict conditions and restrictions of release for someone in domestic violence situation. The next matter for him is a municipal court warrant alleging disorderly conduct. An attorney will be appointed for him even though it's a failure to appear warrant because failure to pay warrant because there's $50 set in bond. His next hearing is at Peoria Municipal Court March 10th at 9 a.m. And then his last matter here is a justice court warrant about shoplifting. Again, $50 bond is set, so an attorney is appointed for that part of the matter only. And his hearing is at Agua Fria Justice Court on March 11th at 8:30 in the morning. So altogether, this gentleman has $7,600 in secured appearance bond. It is not my intention to return to this recording. If there are any changes to these 4 individuals' orders, they will be reflected in the written order. So at this time, the 5 a.m. initial appearance hearing calendar is in recess until 8 a.m.
State would ask for $50,000 cash only, along with electronic monitoring, no contact with any minors, and no internet use. These requests are based on the nature of the charges. As the court has already referenced, he has an open felony case for voyeurism and burglary. He's clearly demonstrated a pattern of sexually exploiting young children. I believe the victim in this particular case was 12 years old at the time that the alleged photo was taken. We are concerned that he is a danger to the community if he's released without a bond at this time. Thank you.
All right. First, I agree. Pretrial services thought this might have occurred after you were charged with your other offense. It clearly didn't. So you're entitled to some type of bond. I think an additional $50,000 is somewhat excessive, but I'm going to set a cash-only bond in this case. Did you bond out on the other case?
Yes, I did.
And that was a $75,000 bond?
Yes, sir.
All right. On this case, I'm going to make it a $20,000 cash bond. Other than that, the release conditions are remarkably similar to your other case. It does include pretrial services, electronic monitoring to be installed before your release, no contact with any victim or minors. You're not to use the internet. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to provide court or proof of your local address. Your next court date will be a status conference on March the 12th at 8:30 with a possible preliminary hearing on March the 16th. It's also possible this case could go to the grand jury, but right now the next court date is March the 12th. Do you have any questions, sir?
Will all the trial dates coincide with the other?
Yes, it ultimately will be put together. I'm sure the county attorney and your attorney will file some type of motion to consolidate.
Okay.
But right now you have separate court dates.
Okay.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for appearing, counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so we'll go do the house calls.
guys, you're just talking to me, okay? Everything you say, we can hear vocalized from here, right? Hey guys, like seriously, if you want to talk, I can put you out there, and when work starts, I'll bring you back in. There's no talking. All right.
Please be seated. Okay. All right, this is the 11 a.m. initial appearance calendar for March the 7th, 2026. The court's orders for the taking of DNA and fingerprints that were given on the first calendar this month shall apply to all matters on this calendar. If you're the victim of a crime with a case pending before this court, you're advised you have rights under Arizona law that include the right to the right to be treated with fairness, respect, and dignity, to a speedy trial, to be present at court proceedings, to choose whether or not to be interviewed by the defendant or the defendant's attorney, to be heard before the court makes a decision on release, negotiation of a plea, scheduling, and sentencing, and to receive restitution from a person who's convicted of causing your loss. If you've not already been provided with a written statement of all victims' rights, please contact the Victim Services Division of the Prosecutor's Office. I will take the interpreter matter first. Pedro Hugh Ortega. Sir, please state your name.
Okay, my name is Pedro Roberto Ortega.
And your
My
date of
name
birth?
is Pedro Roberto Ortega, Roberto Wilson, court interpreter.
Sí. Fecha de nacimiento es 25 de junio de 2001.
My date of birth is June 25th, 2001.
Thank you. So you've been charged with aggravated DUI, class 4 felony. The court has found you to be indigent and appointed the public defender. The court has found probable cause as to this offense. I did consider the state's written recommendation. I know the state's on the line for another matter. Does the state want to be heard on this matter?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right. So I've looked at your lack of criminal record. I'm going to release you to pretrial services. That will include alcohol testing and monitoring. You are not to consume alcohol at all while on release. If you test positive for the consumption of alcohol, your release can be revoked. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription. You are not to drive a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. And you're to continue to provide court with proof of your local address. Your next court date will be a status conference on March the 23rd at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. There's a possible preliminary hearing on March 25th at 8:30. It's very important that you contact pretrial services when you get out of custody and that you follow all of their directions. Instructions on how to contact them will be in an envelope that you'll be given. Do you have any questions?
No, nada más estoy agradecido con Dios y gracias al señor juez y pues por la oportunidad que da Dios y da la vida.
Un momento, gracias. Well, no, I just would like to thank God and thank Your Honor for this chance that you're giving me.
Just follow all of my orders. All right, thank you, sir.
Okay, muchas gracias.
Celine Garcia Talix.
Your Honor, for the interpreter, would you like me to do a general call to see if there's any other Spanish-speaking defendant?
I would. Thank you. I forgot to do that. Thank you, counsel, or interpreter, if you could please do that.
Thank you, Your Honor. ¿Habrá alguna otra persona que requiera los servicios de intérprete en español?
No hands. Thank you for interpreting for us this morning. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ma'am, please state your name
Celine Garcia Telix,
and your date of birth.
January 2nd, 2008.
All right. Ma'am, you've been charged with manslaughter, a Class 2 felony, being in an accident involving death or serious physical injury while your license was suspended, looks like a Class 4 felony. Also leaving the scene of an accident, a Class 1 misdemeanor. The court has found probable causes to those counts. I've considered the state's written recommendation. I've considered the victim impact statement that I've been given. Does the state want to be heard further?
Yes, Your Honor. The state is asking for a $250,000 cash-only bond, along with a judicial prohibition against operating a motor vehicle. She was allegedly driving without a license at nearly twice the speed limit. She was also using a cell phone at the same time. She ran a red light and collided with the victim's vehicle, and the victim succumbed to his injuries. Shortly before this collision, she had allegedly sideswiped another vehicle and failed to stop at that accident scene. We are concerned that she's a significant danger to the public. Thank you.
Okay, just 1 second. All right. I don't know if I stated on the record, but I did find that you would be indigent according to the public defender. I might have said that earlier. I'm going to set a bond. It's a secured appearance bond in the amount of $150,000. I think given your record, that's a significant enough bond that is warranted in this case. This is an extremely serious case. I'm going to go over some of your release conditions. They'll all be in writing. You'll be expected to follow all of them. You're not to initiate contact with the arresting officers. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription. I've ordered you not to drive a motor vehicle at all. You continue to provide court with proof of your local address. Your next court date will be a status conference on March the 12th at 8:30 with a possible preliminary hearing on March the 16th. Do you have any questions?
No.
All right, you can step over there. Counsel, are you going to appear on any other matters?
No, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, thank you very much for appearing.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna proceed in the following manner. Now we're gonna call 2 people at a time. The first person's gonna come and stand at the podium. The second person will sit in the chair by the door. The next person we're gonna see this morning is Augustine Dominguez. He'll be followed by Eric Amaya. Sir, your name, please.
Augustine Dominguez, 2871.
Okay, have you also used the name Michael Dominguez?
Yes.
All right. All right, so you're here on 2 cases. First, number 3 on the calendar is a new charge of criminal damage, a Class 5 felony. The court has found probable cause. The court has found you to be indigent and appointed the public defender to represent you. On this case, there's going to be a secured appearance bond set in the amount of $2,500. You may not initiate any contact at all with the alleged victim for any reason, nor respond to any contact from any alleged victim. You may not reside at the same location as any alleged victim, even if you're the owner or renter of the residence. If you have a common residence with any victim, 1 civil standby will be allowed to retrieve any essential belongings. You're not to possess any weapons. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You're also not to consume alcohol. You're to contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Your next court date will be a status conference on March the 12th at 8:30 with a possible preliminary hearing on March the 16th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. Number 6 is a probation violation case. On that case, a secured appearance bond of $100. The release conditions are similar other than that there's no victim alleged in this count. Your next court date on this case is a probation revocation arraignment hearing on March the 13th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. Do you have any questions, sir? No. All right, thank you, sir. Eric Amaya, we followed by Jose Padilla. Sir, your name, please.
Eric Amaya.
And your date of birth.
December 2nd, 1991.
All right, thank you, sir. So you're here on a bench warrant from the Superior Court on the charges of possessing narcotic drugs, possession of dangerous drugs, both Class 4 felonies, and possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. The public defender has previously been appointed. I'm affirming that appointment. On this case, there's been a secured appearance bond set in the amount of $250. If bond is posted, you're not to initiate contact with any arresting officers. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to preside court or proof your local address. Your next court date will be a status conference on March the 12th at 8:30 with a possible preliminary hearing on March the 16th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. Do you have any questions, sir?
Yeah, I just, I don't know where I had the error. I was actually under the assumption that I had court. For some reason, I got the date wrong. I was ready to go to court on Monday at 8:30. I'm on methadone, and I had my counselor even print me out a verification letter and everything. So I was ready to go on Monday. I was riding my bike last night, and just because my light was off, I didn't even realize it was dead. I got pulled over. I was talking to the police, and I was so sure that he was going to let me go. I even told him about the incident that I previously was arrested because of the warrant.
The problem is, sir, you were released on your own recognizance. You were given a specific court date.
Yeah.
You didn't appear.
Yeah, and
we generally don't keep releasing people who don't appear once again on their own recognizance.
Yeah.
The court requested, the judge, when he issued the bond, wanted a bond of $500.
Okay.
I set it at $250, which is the lowest bond that you're going to get on a failure to appear on a Superior Court warrant. Yeah. So the bond is $250.
Okay.
And I've given you your court dates.
Okay.
Right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Jose Padilla will be followed by Eddie Floyd. Sir, your name, please.
Jose Padilla.
And your date of birth.
02/22/94.
Thank you, sir. So you've been charged with aggravated domestic violence, Class 5 felony, and misdemeanor assault. The court has found probable cause. The court has found you to be indigent and appointed the public defender to represent you. On this case, there's been a secured appearance bond set in the amount of $5,000. If bond is posted, you'd also be subject to electronic monitoring to be installed before you're released from custody. You're not to initiate contact with the victim for any reason, nor respond to any contact from any alleged victim. You may not reside at the same location as any alleged victim, even if you're the owner or renter of the property. If you have a common residence with any victim, one civil standby would be allowed to retrieve any essential belongings. You're not to possess any weapons. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You continue to provide court proof of your local address. Your next court date will be a status conference on March the 12th at 8:30 with a preliminary hearing of March the 16th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. Do you have any questions, sir?
That'll be it, sir.
All right, thank you, sir. You can step back over there. Eddie Floyd will be followed by Marcus Tate.
Morning.
Good morning, sir. Please tell me your name and date of birth.
Eddie Floyd, 10/1/81.
All right, sir, you've been charged with disorderly conduct, a Class 1 misdemeanor, threatening and intimidating, a Class 1 misdemeanor, and disobeying an order or an order of protection, a Class 1 misdemeanor. The court has found probable causes to those counts. The court has found you to be indigent. Just a second, I'll let you say something. Counsel will be appointed at the next court date. All right, what do you want to say?
The protection order was, we canceled that, so that's not valid.
Okay. Well, that's just one of the counts, so that,
Okay.
you can bring that up with the
Okay.
judge at the next court date. All right, let me just check one other thing. All right, on this case, there's been a secured appearance bond set in the amount of $500. If bond is posted, you're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime. You're not to initiate contact with the alleged victim. You're not to have any contact with the alleged victim without further order of the court, nor respond to any contact from the alleged victim. You may not reside at the same location as the alleged victim, even if you're the owner or resident of the property. You would be allowed to have one civil standby to retrieve any essential belongings. You're not to possess any weapons. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to reside at an address you provide the court. Your next court date will be an arraignment hearing on March the 10th at 9 a.m. in the Peoria Municipal Court. Do you have any questions?
Yes, Your Honor, I've been up here, I'm from Michigan. I've been up here for 2 years. I don't have no family or, any type of resources to, help me get out of jail. I don't have, I'm going to a program called Crossroads, and for my rehabilitation, from alcohol. And I just wanted to ask, is there any possible way you can let me get out on my own recognizance?
Sir, given your felony record, which is somewhat older, and your other charges, the bond currently set is at the exceedingly low end of the guidelines. So I'm going to keep the release conditions as I've stated them. Thank you, sir. Marcus Tate will be followed by Charles Hunt. Sir, your name, please.
Marcus Tate,
And your date of birth.
August 3rd, 1995.
Sir, you've been charged with possession of narcotic drugs, Class 4 felony, and possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony, and taking contraband into a prison or jail setting, Class 2 felony. The court's found probable causes to the paraphernalia count. The court has found you to be indigent and appointed the legal defender to represent you. On this case, you were on felony release at the time this offense occurred. Therefore, you're not entitled to bond. You'll be held without bond at this point. If that changes, you're not to initiate contact with the arresting officers. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to reside at an address you provide the court. Your next court date will be a status conference on March the 12th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. There'll be an evidentiary hearing set for March the 13th at 1:30. That's to determine whether or not you should be continued to be held without bond. There's a special hearing when you're being held without bond, so that'll be March the 13th. All right, that takes care of that cause number. Number 14 is the case that you're on bench warrant status for. That's a possession of dangerous drugs, class 4, drug paraphernalia, class 6, and criminal trespass. On that case, there's a secured appearance bond set in the amount of $1,000. If bond is posted, the release conditions are very similar. Your next court date on this case will be a status conference, post-warrant status conference on March the 12th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. Do you have any questions about these two cases?
No, sir.
All right, thank you, sir. You can step back over there. All right, Charles Hunt will be followed by Alexis Salas. Good morning, sir. Please tell me your name and date of birth.
8777.
And your name?
Charles Hurt.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, sir, you're here on two cases. First, number 11 on the calendar is a new charge of possession of dangerous drugs, a class 4 felony, and drug paraphernalia, class 6 felony. The court has found probable cause on the drug paraphernalia count. The court has found you to be indigent and appointed the public defender to represent you. On this case, there's been a secured appearance bond set in the amount of $200. If bond is posted, you're not to initiate contact with any arresting officers, you're not to possess any weapons, you're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to provide court proof your local address, and you're to contact your probation officer within 72 hours of your release. Your next court date on this case is a status conference on March the 12th at 8:30 with a possible preliminary hearing on March the 16th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. Number 12 on the calendar is a probation violation. On this case, it's also ordered appointing the public defender. On this case, there's a secured appearance bond set in the amount of $500. Other than that, the release conditions are the same. Your next court date on this case is a probation revocation arraignment hearing on March the 13th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. Do you have any questions, sir?
No, sir.
All right, thank you, sir. You can step back over there. Alexis Salas will be followed by Victor Moreno. Sir, your name, please,
Alexis Salas,
and your date of birth.
2/12/1997.
All right, sir, you're here. Let's check one thing.
Thank you.
All right, you're here on a Superior Court bench warrant on the charges of one count of fraudulent schemes and artifice, a class 2 felony, one count of conspiracy, a class 2 felony, one count of illegal control of an enterprise, a class 3 felony, one count of theft, a class 3 felony, one count of organized retail theft, a class 4 felony, and 2 additional counts of organized retail theft, class 4 felonies. On this case, you already have an attorney, so I'm not going to appoint counsel, because you'd already entered a plea on this case. On this case, there's been a secured appearance bond set in the amount of $20,000. If you post the bond, you're not to initiate contact with the arresting officers, you're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You continue to provide court proof your local address. Your next court date will be a post-warrant status conference on March the 11th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. Do you have any questions, sir?
I was released. I was dealing with being homeless, so I didn't know that it was the 5th. I thought I had like 2 days to go to court.
Yeah, you were actually given a court date, and the plea agreement itself said that if you failed to appear, you no longer had a guarantee of probation. The judge can send you to prison under your plea because you failed to appear. The judge, when they issued the warrant, issued the bond of $20,000.
Yeah, what I was dealing with homelessness was I was dealing with trying to find where to stay, and I found a place at a recovery center for the arts. I've been trying to get into a program to better myself.
Okay, and you can explain all that to the judge who issued the warrant. You're going to be going to court in 4 days, but the judge asked the bond to be $20,000, and I'm affirming that.
Okay, I understand.
So you'll be in court in 4 days, sir. All right, thank you, sir. Victor Moreno will be followed by Mark Centino. Victor Moreno? Sir, state your name, please,
Victor Moreno,
and your date of birth.
5377.
Sir, you're here on two cases. Number 20 on the calendar is the first matter. It's a possession of narcotic drugs. It's basically, both of these are drug court violations. You didn't appear for a drug court status conference. Number 20, there's the cash-only bond set in the amount of $50, which is the amount that the drug court was asking for. If you post the bond, you're not to initiate contact with the arresting officers, no weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription, no driving without a valid driver's license. You continue to reside at an address provided the court, and you're to contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Your next court date will be a post-warrant status conference on March the 11th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. Number 21 is another drug court status conference, failure to appear. The cash-only bond on that case is also $50. The release conditions are exactly the same, as is your court date of March the 11th at 8:30. Do you have any questions?
No.
All right, thank you, sir. You can step back over there. Mark Centino will be followed by Luis Vargas. Sir, your name, please.
Mark Scatino, 92282.
Thank you, sir. So you're here on a warrant out of the McDowell Mountain Justice Court on the charges of DUI. It's ordered appointing the public defender to represent you. On this case, there's a security appearance bond that's been set in the amount of $250. If bond is posted, you're not to initiate contact with the arresting officers. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to provide court with proof of your local address. Your next court date will be an arraignment hearing on March the 11th at 8:30 in the McDowell Mountain Justice Court. Do you have any questions, sir?
No.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Luis Vargas will be followed by Alicia Rogers. Sir, your name, please,
Luis Angel Vargas,
and your date of birth.
12/10/90, Your Honor.
All right, sir, you're here on a Superior Court bench warrant on the charges of possession of narcotic drugs, Class 4 felony, drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony, and prescription drug violation of Class 1 misdemeanor. Looks like you were in the drug diversion program.
And I completed it as well. Yes, sir.
You need to keep better contact with the court and with your attorney. But given the nature of this, I'm going to release you to pretrial services.
Okay.
So you won't have to post a bond, but it's very important you make your court date and you contact pretrial services. You're not to initiate contact with any arresting officers. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to provide court proof of your local address. Your next court date will be a post-warrant status conference on March the 23rd at 8:30. So make sure you report to pretrial services. You'll be given an envelope with directions about how to do that. Make sure you make your court date on March the 23rd.
I will, sir.
All right, thank you, sir.
Okay, you have a good day.
All right, Ms. Rogers will be followed by Stephen Woodman. Your name, please.
Alyssa Rogers, February 2nd, 2001.
All right, thank you. Ma'am, you've been charged with criminal damage, a Class 1 misdemeanor, and disorderly conduct, a Class 1 misdemeanor. The court's found you to be indigent. Counsel will be appointed at the next court date. On this case, you're going to be released on your own recognizance. You're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime. I believe it was your mother's home. At this point, you're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime. You're not to have, you may not reside at the same location as any alleged victim, even if you're the owner or renter of the residence. If you have a common residence with any victim, you're entitled to one civil standby with law enforcement to retrieve any essential belongings. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You continue to provide your proof of current address. Your next court date will be an arraignment hearing on March the 24th at 9 a.m. in the Peoria Municipal Court. Do you have any questions, ma'am?
No.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Woodman will be followed by Pedro Garcia.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir. Your name and date of birth.
Stephen Woodman, September 25th, 1962.
All right, sir, you're here on a post-adjudication warrant. It looks like probably failure to pay a fine or something like that. Don't say anything right now. I'm going to release you, but you've got to make your court date. If not, you're going to be back in custody with a really high bond. So I'm going to take a chance on you and release you. So at this point, I find you're not entitled to court-appointed counsel because of the nature of the offense, but I'm going to release you on your own recognizance. It's extremely, very important you make your next court date of March 24th at 9 a.m. in the Peoria Municipal Court. Do you understand that?
I did go to my court date at 9 a.m. like I was supposed to, and they said I wasn't on the court docket. They said,
well, now you're going to be on the court docket. They've been notified. I've released you on your own recognizance. Right. Just make that court date on the 24th. All right, step over there.
Thank you.
All right, Pedro Garcia will be followed by Raul Valenzuela. Your name, please.
Pedro Garcia,
Date of birth.
5/16/2006.
So you've been charged with unlawful discharge of a firearm, a Class 6 felony. The court has found probable cause. The court has found you to be indigent and appointed the public defender to represent you. I'm going to release you to pretrial services. You'll need to keep in contact with them and follow their directions, but you won't have to post a bond in order to get out. You're not to initiate contact with any arresting officers. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to provide court or proof your local address. Your next court date will be a status conference on March the 23rd at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court with a possible preliminary hearing on March the 25th. But make sure you report to pretrial services and make your court date on the 23rd. Do you have any questions?
How would I do that?
You'll be given an envelope with directions on how to contact pretrial services. The court date and the address for the court will be on the paperwork you'll be given as well.
Okay.
All right, thank you, sir. Mr. Valenzuela. Sir, your name.
Raul Angel Valenzuela Jr.
And your date of birth.
7/11/93.
Sir, you've been charged with 12 counts of organized retail theft, Class 4 felonies, 1 count of contributing to the delinquency of a minor, Class 1 misdemeanor, and 4 counts of criminal trespass, Class 3 misdemeanor. The court has found probable cause. The court has found you to be indigent and appointed the public defender to represent you. You're going to be released to pretrial services. You'll need to follow all of their directions, but you won't have to post a bond in order to get out. You're not to return to the scene of alleged crime. In fact, you're not to enter any Home Depot store at all.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription or drive without a valid driver's license. You're to continue to provide court or proof your local address. Your next court date is a status conference on March the 23rd with a possible preliminary hearing on March the 25th. But make sure you make your court date on the 23rd. Make sure you contact pretrial services. Do you have any questions?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, with that, we'll be adjourned on the calendar.